What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my home. So I'm watching this video called the Infiltrator. But somebody commented that AFM was a bad design. I agree with it, and then I don't agree with it. I think that the theory is great, the functionality is great, but if the engine is not designed to handle the extra blow-by, combustion, things of that nature, then how do you fix it? How do you stop it? What I really like to hear from is anybody who drives any car who's super OCD about maintenance in their vehicle. I mean, you own the vehicle since 0 mileage. Excuse me. So I get cars at 0 mileage, I lease them, and I do maintain them, but I'm not doing GDIs, I'm not doing throttle bodies, I'm not keeping up with all the filters. At minimum, I change the oil, and I don't even rotate the tires. But I lease these cars for 3 years, and then they're out of my hair. So I have documented with new Kias that there's nothing you can do about the oil consumption and antifreeze consumption 0 to 10,000 miles. That's already been documented on my channel. So what does that tell you about the design of is the design of that engine for crap? It should not be consuming antifreeze. It should not be consuming oil at 10,000 miles or 12,000 miles. That is a bad design engine. My vehicle, I change the oil very regularly, probably every 5,000 miles, and it still has the same problem. Now, my F-150, I bought second or third hand, so I can't really say that. My Toyota Sequoia, I bought second or third hand, so I can't really tell you that because I have oil consumption in both of those engines because of lack of maintenance. Excuse me, from prior owners. But somebody who purchased their car, not leased it, owned it from 0 mileage, and changed their oil and did their fuel injections and did their throttle bodies, oil changes every 3,000 miles. Air filters every 10,000 miles. And depending on their driving habits and environment. Throttle body services, PCV service, induction, fuel injection. Somebody who's actually really maintained their car above and beyond what the industry and people have said out here in YouTube land. Because I hear a lot of bullshit that I don't ever do this and my car doesn't have any problems. You're a liar. I don't believe it. You're not telling me you're going 20, 30,000 miles and you don't have internal engine problems. Many top-level pros out here in the YouTube land that I follow all say the same thing. It's poor maintenance intervals, cheap oil, cheap fuels. But I want to know from somebody, and it could be an LS engine, it could be a Toyota, it could be a Kia, Hyundai, that somebody's actually super-duper OCD maintenance this vehicle, and they're not burning oil, or maybe they are burning a little bit of oil. They don't have stuck rings. They don't have carbon valves. The engines have, let's just put the time frame. Let's do 12,000 miles a year. So I don't want to hear that you have a new Kia that I already document that has antifreeze oil consumption already. So let's just forget that. Even new Volkswagens, the management and service writer teams are advising their customers that their brand new cars are burning oil. So some Volkswagens are out of the picture. Let's just go back a few years. We'll just say LS engines, AFM engines, Ford engines, Toyota engines, within the last 10 years, not within the last 2 years or 3 years, because they're burning oil, and they're just telling you that already. So they're preparing yourself for your engine to blow up because you're going to go, what did you say? Pornhub, TikTok, what's that? I need to come back and change my oil? Oh, yeah, I'll be back in 10,000 miles. No, sir. You need to come back in 3,000 miles so we can check your oil or change it depending on your usage, because this engine does burn oil in one ear, right out the other. But somebody out here in YouTube land, and there's probably just a handful of people that have bought a vehicle and can say a few 100,000 miles on it, 100,000 miles on it. But let's hear from some people who actually care enough to say, hey, I want this engine to last. I don't want to have stuck return piston rings. I don't want to have carbon on my valves. I don't want to have fouled out spark plugs at 30,000 miles. Anybody, let me know.